Yeah, what's up? So, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna, like articulate my thoughts here, basically, but yeah, I just kind of like enjoying my time day to day, basically, like whatever I'm gonna do in today or whatnot. So, in tomorrow, in 2 days later, yeah, I feel like I'm being more resilient in that. So, to me, like personally, I'll go somewhere on planet Earth. Basically, I feel like when I just wake up in the morning, like thinking that I'm gonna go anywhere else in outside of the country, whatever is going on. So to me, like personally thinking of that, it just makes my mind's gonna be more resilient and more like become like into the session of the blankness sometimes. But I have to because I have to like daydream it sometimes. So yeah, and I think yeah, I listen to the music. I like to like watching YouTube videos all the time. Basically, like for instance, like 24 hours a day, it's gonna be like maybe at least I getting my kind of like hours off to just like listening to the YouTube videos or whatever like podcast videos. People are who are talking, discussing something like pretty much in like brainstorming with each other's, what I mean, with one another. And but I like to watch one-on-one conversation. I'll rather watch that a lot because that's kind of like opening up the perspective and stuff. So I just like to do that. And when I wake up in the morning, I just have my coffee, and that's kind of like day to day kind of like graduation that I putting in my kind of like day habit, I guess. So in the night, in like night, basically the night time that most people are go to bed and like sleeping and like do nothing at least, kind of like a switch off the mind basically for a moment, for several hours, like let's say 6 hours. That's gonna be my main thing to do my most beneficial way, like more like catch up on my thing basically in the night time. I'll just like probably end up on like yeah, my computer screen and just like spending my time like producing and stuff. So like producing in terms of like in not necessarily like producing them whatever like that we kind of like thinking that people can produce that, but instead I just do something that I kind of like trustly, kind of like I trust, I believe that that is gonna be end up on harvesting someday. And yeah, I mean like to me personally, do something like that is gonna be super beneficial for me, like maybe watch like YouTube tutorials and whatnot. So having these kind of like scenes that I catch up on and having like learning and stuff. So I just drawn to it basically for day to day life, kind of like life habit or life behavior that I acting on. And I like to do so, but and I like the way the articulation is the way I wanted to do, like I wanted for my whole life basically, because that's how I'm going to do my job probably, because articulation is probably the one primer um things to actually we have to master on when we are working, like that require us to coordinate and like making our crew members are um like particularly understand what we are saying, what we are conveying to others, and like do we have to do it for ourselves and the others as well. So I think that's pretty mandatory, like and crucial for me personally, that I'm gonna working in the ship, and that requires more safety, environmental, like I need to actually cut some like communication is kind of like the key. It's not kind of, but it's just like actually the key to actually yeah, coordinate others. Um, like conveying our messages and like replying the messages, understanding whatever's come up from this radio and stuff. So we have to catch up them earlier, and then we have to reply them like acknowledge at least, and we have to making sort of conclusion what we are gonna do. And the effective like decisions making is it's like a probably the one of the most things that we have to do uphold in the ship as we are working on there basically. And to me personally, from the working point of view, I guess so we're gonna have to do our job like operating. Basically, we are as an operator, as I heard from my officer back in my when I was in my first ship ever back in 2021, and like he said that we just an operator, so we have to do these operating things. Basically when for example in the future there are gonna be no human operating system that we are doing now. Basically in the future is gonna be probably all the machines, all the um like a like very modern thing that requires no human. And to me like personally, when it comes to like operating, it's just like so important for now basically, because we are as a human, we are the wisest kind of like spectrum ever, because we are do that as we are knowing, acknowledging, and stuff. So we are observing by the means of eye and ears, and that's truly important for actually in the working place. Basically when we talk about the working in like a that requires safety and coordination, and requires to like correcting what we are doing before. So we have to correct that up until we get the final decisions, the best way to actually apply on the certain job, and like to the certain areas, I guess. So to me human is always the necessary things to put into the working basis, I guess, like to a certain job, to the certain level of um acquirization, I guess. So yeah, human is always be the best way to actually put in basically. So when it comes to like a working place, basically in the future now we have an AI, like artificial intelligence, which actually is pretty much the scariest thing ever. I thought an AI like can actually produce some, I don't know, man. It's just like produce some words, and like definitely like a human being. You know what I mean? So I've talked with an AI, like do this kind of like chat with AI app basically. So it's truly truly mind blowing, because this AI, this AI character, robotic character, can actually articulate the human being. You know what I mean? So perfectly. Even like yeah, from select amount of flow is really pretty much the flawless things ever, I guess, to articulate in terms of the articulation, I guess. So AI just like I don't know, it's the scariest thing ever now, because even my I've heard that somebody said that before, and then I just like oh my god, it's like the truest thing that I've ever encountered. I think it's just like I just in internet I like just find figure out then an AI, and it's like I trying to look up on like one of the app. It's like pretty much like the this system can definitely articulate the way human being talking, and the way human being like convey the messages. And it's super scare super like helping at the same time. Basically we're gonna we get easily kind of like assisted by an AI, by this the means of those algorithms, and like the way like developers making this algorithm that actually can produce these um words, like produces kind of like systematic articulation basically. So I think it's super helpful for now. And even me basically when I was doing my thesis, it was pretty much assisted by an AI. So it was truly helpful for like students in like college and maybe the high school, and like yeah, for school in general basically. And like I heard like before in like on YouTube videos, which depict depicted the famous person ever in the world now. So everybody I suggest I it's supposed that anybody in the world knows him basically. And Elon Musk, the um probably one has been on the list of one of the most I think he's the number one back at the time, the most richest person on planet Earth, and he's basically truly I don't know, man. It's just like the way he talked, the way he kind of like do the conversation, like in the podcast videos that he was invited on. Um, in this podcast section, he talk really like I don't know. He's super intelligent, I guess, because the way he is affected is it's basically the intelligence influence him, the way he talk and the way he can, you know, kind of like picking up the words that requires to express these feeling and emotions, and he's really inspirable person ever, I guess. Even me, I got like I learned how to like reading books, like how to reading these non-fiction or fiction books from him. Basically, he truly inspirable. He truly inspired me the way I look up on my path, I guess. So when I first reading books, I like maybe probably I just I just expecting to mastering this language. I guess like that was the first time like I the first ever time I just reading book. Basically that is not my one is never be my hobby. It's never be like kind of like my main kind of like side hustle or things like that. So I just like don't do that ever in my life before, and my first reading was like a in nonfiction like novel and stuff. So and then I turn on, I got like a one book. It's basically there is a site on the Google which providing this many books. Is at least like 100,000 books. So it's basically truly free, and you can download that. You can access that in your smartphone. You can just literally just like easily save that and just like reading that as long as you can do whatever. So it's really like a copy of the book basically, the copy of the real physical book basically, but it's truly just full pages, you know what I mean. It's like literally just like a cover to cover type of book that you can read, and no require money to actually buy the physical book. Just you need your smartphone, and it's just like maybe at least from one book cover to cover is probably just like 1 to 2 megabytes. It's totally light in size. I like to download that and just read them a lot basically, the nonfiction a lot, and it's really makes me kind of like opening my mind and stuff. So I guess the way I observing these kind of situational in the book, like basically the author just like providing these stories like his experiences basically, and he provided in these words in this in her on his articulation in terms of the writing this book. So I guess some author is truly making the way of a reader to actually read their materials, I guess. So it's super important for us to actually like picking up the one of the best book that we can actually end up on, just kind of like bowing our back and just like sitting for hours in for us to actually reading that book basically. So I think it's really meaningful, as per Elon Musk said in one of the podcast videos, that he always encouraged people to read books basically. And since he read the books in his early age, basically when he was probably 5 or 6 years old, from literally just early age, and he reading a lot of books. The first book, or the first things he read basically an encyclopedia. He read encyclopedia a lot, and whatever for whatever's description there, or whatever is explanatory, or like the amount of description and stuff. So I don't know what kind of encyclopedia it is, you know what I mean. So it's probably the like a Wikipedia for now. He read them a lot, like he truly inspirable person ever. And like I like to kind of like the copy the way he reading books, you know what I mean. So he read from the by the evidence of his brother. He read quite a lot. Probably let's say in one day he read 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a day just by reading books. is very inspirable. From one sitting of reading books, he spent like entire entire like a cover to cover book, full pages, and that's sort of like crazy. In one day he actually finished that book. For me personally, I can actually finish one book basically, let's say the quickest time ever is gonna be like 2 weeks, and that's it. That's like kind of like horrible in comparison to Elon Musk, I guess. Like, he truly read a lot, and I like the way he, kind of like presenting his messages. He's like um wisest wisest, kind of say ever. Like, he mentioned that he encouraged people to actually reading books, and like he mentioned that the college is not truly important for people who are wanted to learn, because like education is not totally in college, and people do colleges for, maybe he mentioned that the advantage of the college is like for students who actually meeting their friends and like building this relationship or whatever. So building this connection is actually the, like kind of like the advantage of the college for him. And for me personally, I think it's really practical for us to acknowledge that, because yeah, it's like it's not entirely true, but I think it's most of the time it's kind of like true to acknowledge and to actually passed up in our mind, and like infused to our mind basically is completely, most of the time, that it is true. And actually like reading, and like yeah, I like to read. And yeah, the first reading books ever when it was like 1.5 years ago. So I just read a lot, and I like the way he presenting these like motivational thoughts, speech, I guess. So, and yeah, I reading a lot. I learned how to read, and one of, like before, I I got into this Indian blog, probably presenting by the Indian, who are mentioning that when you read a lot in your 20s, you're gonna get the better life in your 30s or 40s and so on. So that's really inspirable. So I like to actually remain in these kind of like current hobbies, I guess. And yeah, like nowadays, like industrialization is pretty much in modern, and many buildings, skyscrapers in like the city and stuff. So it's basically the industrialization modern era is like in our we just holding that for our daily life. Basically, we kind of like consume that a lot. This modernization, I guess. And we are connected. We, consuming these contents from social media, and we are consumed to these pretty much the algorithms, let's say like TikTok algorithms. So it's kind of like makes us kind of like just like a like scrolling through TikTok videos, or maybe what's like let's say like Instagram videos, on like the many things that's interesting and entice us. And I don't know, like for me personally, I watch TikTok probably when I just wanted to watch them. Like, I like the most thing that I like from TikTok is like the back sounds, because the back sounds thing is really entice me a lot. Like particularly interesting because the EDM, like the mixing song is truly like mind spirit for me actually. So I sometimes go on TikTok and like watching bunch of videos there, and like having that conclusion that I have to maybe like quit this sometimes, and I just uninstall that whenever I felt like I have to quit that for a while, because I truly get addicted and just sitting against the wall for hours, for many hours, and just like spend my whole entire life in a day just like watching them. It's not a good thing. It's not a good practice to do. So I just installed them, like the apps like a TikTok, Instagram, and like , particularly interesting entertainment app basically. And yeah, we don't have to consume the contents of them basically. And like yeah, like basically how we actually navigate the life is super more important and more like straightforward ideas that we have to uphold for the shortest time, you know what I mean? So maybe like upholding these ideas of how we gonna end up on this career, or how we're gonna end up in this like super interesting profession, I guess. So how we can actually strategize ourselves into it, and making like income based on the way we are like our job. So it's more beneficial for us knowledge, like to catch up to actually practically do that. And I like the idea of working holic, like the way this idea like spread out to the societal people, I guess. And working holic basically the way we are working, like we balance our working as well, like we do like life, life things basically, just like we going out and like meet the family, like like being social is really more, is like taking the balance of like working holic basically. And like work life balance is really the up, like the terms that we are kind of like get consumed to most of the time. And yeah, I like the idea of it. And actually how to navigate the life, which is like pretty the easiest thing to do if you got the formulas. Maybe you have this reading books habit, and then you just navigate them easily through some like methods that you already got, maybe, and that you already acknowledge, and you can actually execute. And yeah, I think that's it for now, I guess. So I've no much idea basically how to, I'm not really good in like presenting my ideas and like bestowing it into the speech, that particularly that I'm never doing my whole life basically. So I remain quiet most of the time for whatever reasons, and yeah, I gotten like many videos on YouTube, like many, it's like a life, like I watch them quite often time, maybe the life lessons stuff. But in YouTube, probably the most thing that I watch is like podcast videos, like people like just do brainstorming and stuff. It's like reading books by just listening them, you know what I mean? So, and yeah, it's like the easiest way to read a books when you have like pretty much don't want to get consumed by the books that you're reading. Just like listening to the podcast, it's like the easiest way to do. And yeah, I listen to them quite often time. But now it's like more decreasing, I get decreasing, just like the way I do now. It's just like a more on like self-development, and like some life lessons learning from the, maybe like I was like when I picking up the movies that I'm wanted to watch for my computer, like this connected computer by the means of like Wi-Fi connection. So I just watch them. I just particularly I typically just picking up these drama movies, you know what I mean? So the US drama, or like a drama which is presenting the like pretty much life lessons, I guess. So like it's non like sometimes I watch a thriller and drama and romance sometimes. And like I don't want to watch like the sci-fi thing, because that's really fake, or like it's not related to the way we are living. Because some people do like them, because the way they're having this depiction, you know what I mean. So even though it's like a fake depiction, but people got kind of like get attracted from it, and they navigate through it, and just like enjoying the entire like a minutes, I guess. So yeah, like I like them. Like sometimes I watch the thriller. Like I just watched like sci-fi, probably like yeah, like a week ago. I watched one of the sci-fi like movies ever in my life. So but I didn't like fully watch it. Just like 30 minutes prior. I mean 30 minutes just at the beginning. You know what I mean? So yeah, and many life lessons I got from the like reading books and stuff. Yeah, primarily, I don't reading fiction anymore because that I think when I just do like I found myself like like kind of consumed by the study or like whatever going on in my head, and like pretty much get burnout. I just feels like, oh, I wanna maybe reading some like more light, let's say like fiction books like novels and stuff. So I like read them sometimes, but not for the entire hours in a day. So I feel like them sometimes, and I primarily just reading nonfiction a lot because that's kind of like structured my minds most of the time, and I like it, and just like I just got drowned into it, and yeah, I just do that, and yeah, nonfiction is like probably the most primal things that I've always do maybe, and I reading, I learning most of the time from YouTube, like how to navigate like whatever is in my departments, I guess, and I like to watch them like whenever I found myself get complicated by these like lessons and stuff that I reading on like blogs and stuff like reading blogs, basically like educational blogs. I just found myself like, oh, I wanna have some practical way to do this, how to like procedurally do this, you know what I mean? So I just watched from YouTube videos within this internet connection, like freely connected we are now, basically, to actually get all over, that we need to. And finding the way of relevance, I guess. So if I found them like less, let's say like less relevance, I'll just like go to another things that more relevance and more practical to invest, maybe probably the way me like watching like YouTube like tutorials and stuff, YouTube like vlog, where this guy just like presenting how to like do this checklist and stuff in like these AIS equipments in the ship. So of and how to like sending the messages from this TX and RX, messages from this radio equipments, and then that's super important. That's when I found myself get consumed by the reading things. I just get confused and I want to do more practical way, like by I just listening, like watching them the practical way how to do them. So I think nowadays is so much getting more easier, and so much most of the things getting in easiest way ever. And yeah, like in the morning is always be like the weather is now is currently in like rainy weather, so we have to be more careful, like to kind of like avoid the way of sickness, I guess. So yeah, and I think that's it. So I wanna put this video, I mean put this recording to reach out the 30 minutes, I guess. So I just wanna get more like a seconds in it, you know 30 minutes. I think it's like the decent amount of the podcast video is gonna be where I found them on YouTube, basically. So 30 minutes is like the least, I guess, the least amount, and I wanna just do that as like the freedom of speech is totally, we have to uphold that when we are kind of like trying to speaking and like presenting our ideas. We have to uphold this idea of freedom of speech, and nevertheless we are just upholding this non like mentioning this curse and stuff, so it's gonna be like a blaze, the way we are communicate, you know what I mean? So we don't have to be like cursing or like do this but name name names naming names and stuff. So it's not good, like get offensive for most people who are receive them. And yeah, I don't know this. I'm gonna title this random talk because I totally get random in by where I'm talking now. So I don't know. So okay, so I think it's already reached out 30 minutes. So I thanks for listening. So probably we're getting two more podcast videos later on. It's not a video, it's basically like a just voice recording, and I'm gonna put the picture for getting the mp4 files, and then put some other subtitles. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So thanks for listening though. Have a great day.